Yo, peace, happy Sunday. Hope all is well with everybody. Welcome to the Install My CD collection. This is part 66. Let's get on right to it. All right. First album of the video is Nas Lost Tapes. It's compilation album from 2002. Is it 2002? Yeah, 2002. I love this compilation album. This is pretty much collection of songs that were recorded between the I Am sessions, Nostradamus, and Stillmatic. Like these are songs that were supposed to be on the original version of I Am, which was a double disc album, but the album got leaked, so Nas had to record a new album. So some of these songs are from that album, so to speak. But and you know, like I said before, yeah, very very good. You got songs like My Way, You Gotta Love It. No Ideas Original, which is like one of the biggest songs of the album. Like that, a lot of people know of. Blazer 50, that's my shit. You could tell when you hear Blazer 50, you could tell it was recorded around like 98, around that time. But it's very dope. Drunk by Myself, very dope. Yeah, very dope, very dope. I highly recommend it. He was supposed to come out with Lost Tapes years ago, around 2006, but because of him signing to Def Jam, you know, they kind of put a stop to it, you know what I mean? Kind of like fucking up his whole plan and stuff like that. He was planning on releasing it, but then they was like, nah, you gotta put out this album, and you know, that kind of thing. So I highly doubt he's ever gonna release Lost Tapes. He keeps saying he's going to, but I highly doubt it. But I mean, we're better off just listening to the joints off YouTube. But yeah, I would like studio quality songs from those, man, especially the joints that you did with Nature back in like 98, 97. I mean, all the ill joints like Hot Nights and not Hot Nights, like Queen Style, you know, Summer Cookout, you know, joints like that. I want to hear them shits in studio quality, but who knows if that'll ever happen. But yeah, this is Nas, The Lost Tapes, released in 2002. I believe this was released before Gossip. I'm not sure, or maybe after. I think, was it? Yeah, I think this was before Godson, but yeah, Lost Tapes by Nas, released in 2002. Little hard to find, but you know, if you can find it, pick it up. Then we got Talib Kweli's with solo debut album titled Quality, released in 2002. By far his best album in my opinion. You got songs like Get By, which was a single. Waiting for the DJ. Waiting for the DJs. So I love that song. The video is dope too. And Good to You. That's one of my favorite songs from this album. Talk to You, fucking love that joint. Gorilla Monsoon rap with Black Dot and Pharaoh Monch. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Gun Music with Coco Brothers. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, by far his best album. The later albums like Beautiful Struggle was a struggle to listen to. Didn't really care for that album. Only like 3 songs of that album. I know one of them was Around My Way, the self-titled track, Beautiful Struggle, and the first song off the album, don't remember. It's been a while since I heard the album, but yeah, then you got Eardrum and a whole bunch of other albums, but yeah, by far his best album, and obviously the Train of Thought album by Reflection Eternal. But this is Talib Kweli with Quality, released in released in 2002. Then we got Little Brother with their second album, Minstrel Show, released in 2005. The singles off the album is Slow It Down and Loving It. This album has a lot of controversy because the whole theme of the album is, you know, how the music industry at the time in '05 was all about the minstrel. It was like a minstrel show. Like everybody's doing drug raps and things like that, and everybody's a cocaine don and shit and like that. So they kind of went at the, you know, the record labels and like the major industry and the artists at the time that was out, like Young Jeezy and stuff like that. As you can see right here, little sample right here, as you can see. So it kind of gives you guys an idea what the album is about. But it's a pretty good album. It's not as good as their first album, The Listener, which I need to get my hands on, but that's just long out of print. It's hard to find. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's like a lot more cohesive, a lot more mature compared to the first album. The first album was like more in your face, even though it has some like decent, it has some like concept tracks like the song Speed and stuff like that was pretty dope. But yeah, very dope. Definitely need to get the listening, but goes for some money. But the Minstrel Show by Little Brother released in 2005, and unfortunately this is the last album that Ninth Wonder did with them as far as like doing a whole full length project. But yeah, this album got a lot of good reviews. Like, you know, I believe it got like an XL and double XL. You know, this, what was it? I think Scratch Magazine gave it a 10 out of 10. Like, it's pretty dope. Highly recommended. Then we got Gangstar with Moment of Truth, released in 1998. This is their 5th album. A lot of people would consider this their best album. This is like their favorite album. Like when they rank Gangstar, you know, a lot of people say this is their best album, and so this is like their top album. I kind of disagree. My opinion is Hard to Earn. I think that's their best album, but you know, I respect other people's opinions. But it's crazy too because, well, let me tell you the singles of the album. The singles are you know my steez. That was a single of the album. Militia was a single as well, but it was the Pete Rock remix was the actual single. It's not the Primo version, but which is not on here, obviously. Yeah, it's crazy too because Google was actually going through some legal troubles at the time of this album. I think it had something to do with like credit card schemes or some shit like that. Something to do with like, yeah, like credit card schemes, like, you know, some shit like that. So he was supposed to face like 5 years in jail or some shit like that. So there's a skit, I think it's like JFK to LAX, where in the beginning of the song, you know, Guru was talking to Primo on the phone, and they're talking about that, how you might have to face jail time and shit like that. So that was some like real shit. So, you know, but yeah, Moment of Truth, very dope, highly produced, very dope produced album. Some of my favorite songs are In Memory Of, which is the last song. I love the beat for that joint. The Mall, Get Money, Get Money, Get Money, 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 Go Shopping. Yeah, that shit. The Militia is dope. The Rep Grows Bigger, that's my shit right there. Moment of Truth. I mean, Above the Clouds, Inspector Deck killed that joint. Oh my god. But yeah, Moment of Truth, released 1998. I have all the albums, but I just don't have the case for them. So this was one of them, which I lost the case. And Hard to Earn, I need to get Hard to Earn, which I already have, I just need the case. So yeah, I'm a completist, so don't judge me. But yeah, Moment of Truth by Gangstar, released 1998. Let me speak some of water. Then we got Cypress Hill with their 5th album, Skulls and Bones, released in 2000. I showed this before, but I only had the booklet, and it wasn't even my CD. It was like some dude that I knew back in the day. But yeah, this is Skulls and Bones with Cypress Hill. This is their 5th album, like I said. Like I've said that already, I know. This album was where they kind of went into the whole new metal scene in a sense. Like they still had their rap shit, but you know, you can tell they were kind of going for that whole MTV crowd. You know what I mean? Even though they were doing that in their career, but they weren't trying to go for that crowd, like the Sum 41s, the Limp Bizkit, and they were kind of going for that with this album. You know what I mean? The singles off the album are Rap Superstar. That song was so big in 2000. Like I remember that song coming out in the summer of 2000. Rap Superstar, the big house, the big cars, you know, all that shit. And High Life was the single off the album. It wasn't as successful as Rap Superstar. Like you could not walk anywhere without hit. Well, they didn't play that shit in the hood, but like if you played that, like, you know, they would play that like on MTV, like on the radio and stuff like that, like, you know, Z100 and shit like that. But yeah, Rap Superstar. And then the bonus disc is the rock version of the album. Is like, well, not really it's like a rock album, you know what I mean? But it still has a hip hop flavor to it. It's like the new metal, kind of like I want to say like, you know, Limp Bizkit, but a little bit I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you guys know what I'm trying. It's like the rap rock type of ordeal. But yeah, man. This album was okay. Could have been a lot better. My only gripe with this album is the fact that in the rap version, they like Muggs. He was using a lot of strings in this album. He used a lot of keyboard strings and stuff like that, and that kind of turned me off. You know, I was used to like hearing like samples and things like that. Things of that nature. But it's okay. Could have been a lot better. To me, the beginning of their demise, in my opinion. Their fourth album, 4, which is pretty dope. I have it in my collection. To me, the last good Cypress Hill album, in my opinion. But glad to own this as an add-on to the discography. Probably the last album I would buy from them. That's just my opinion. But Cypress Hill, Skulls and Bones, released in 2000. Now, you're gonna get into the creme de la creme, the more obscure joints. All right. Then we got Boogiemonsters with their first album, Riders of the Storm, the Underwater album released in 1994. Consists of 4 members. The members are, I gotta look, Vex, Mondo, Minstrel, and Yoda Red. There's 3 singles off the album. The singles are Recognized Stress of Negative Stress, which there was a video for. I remember seeing that video way back in 2002, way before YouTube was even thought of. I saw the video for that joint. Honey Dips in Gotham and Strange. Those are the 3 singles of the album. Very dope album. You know what I mean? A lot of people consider this to be like a gospel album. I don't consider it that. It does have a lot of religious overtones. With songs like Old Man's Jacob's Well, Mark of the Beast, joints like that, which are pretty dope. But very good album. You know what I mean? They're a Virginia-based group, even though some of the members are from different places of the states and stuff like that. But yeah, very good album right here. Highly recommend it if you can find it. I got it for dirt cheap. Got it for like, I think like $2 online on eBay or some shit like that. But yeah, very good. They kind of remind me of like Far Side, but a lot more darker in a sense. You know what I mean? But in serious, subject matter like religion and things like that. But very, very, very good. Highly recommended. Then we got the second album with God Sound. This was released in 1997. By this time, Yoda Red and Minstrel had left the group because they became a 7-day Adventists and shit like that. And they felt like the music was, kind of like interrupting their faith, so I could respect that. So, but this album is a lot more darker than the first album. Even the first album was kind of dark, but this is a lot more darker and things of that nature. Really like this album a lot. The singles off the album, there's only 1 single and there's a video for it. It's the beginning of the end. Very good album, highly recommended. Both albums are out of print, but you could get them for cheap online. Because I remember back in the day, these albums were going for a little bit of money, but the price went down drastically, which was good for me, collectors like me and others. But yeah, highly recommended. God Sound, love that joint. Beginning to the end was pretty dope. Badia, MC, Sodom and Gomorrah. Very, very, very dope album right here, man. Highly recommend it. If you can find it, pick it up. Then, this is an album I don't really see too many people in the videos of. Brothers of the Blakmarket with Rough Life, released in 1992. This group, they're from Jersey, East Orange, Jersey, I believe. They're known for their affiliation with Naughty by Nature. They got founded by Naughty by Nature, and they were part of Flavor Unit. So if you guys like Naughty by Nature's first 2 albums, the self-titled album, and 1993, then you'll definitely enjoy this album right here. Definitely has like Naughty by Nature feel to it, even though they themselves produced the album. The members of the group is Cool Money C and DJ Mino, or Mano, I think that's how you say it. The singles off the album are, I believe it's Not You Again and Livin in the Bottle. Those are the singles off the album, and they both have videos for it. Pretty dope. This unfortunately is the first and last time they were released. You haven't really heard from them again. I think they were featured on like a couple of projects in like in the early '90s. I believe they were featured on the what's that album? The Flavor Unit album that came out back in '93. I think it was called like Rolling with the Flavor, Roll with the Flavor, which I need to get my hands on. But yeah, very dope album. If you like I said, Naughty by Nature sound, then you would definitely enjoy this album. But it's kind of reminiscent of Naughty by Nature, but they have like their own little twist to it, if that makes sense. But highly recommended. Dope Jersey hip hop, early '90s shit. Then we got then we going down south. Then we got Gangsta Boo with her first album, Enquiring Minds, released in 1998. This is when she was down with 3 6 Mafia. She's not with them no more. They had like a falling out and things like that. Very dope album, very good. Shout out to my dude, the Cruel Gamer. He reviewed this album a while back when he was called The Cool One 843, but he deleted his video. But I'm pretty sure he's putting up his old videos, so which is pretty cool. But he reviewed this album, very dope review, by the way. The singles of the album, What Them Dollars At and Nasty Trick, those are the singles of the album. But yeah, very well produced. Beats were done by DJ Paul and Juicy J and some other cat like that produced one track that they didn't produce, but it's pretty. It's called Where Them Dollars At, the bass mix. That's the only track they didn't produce, but it's pretty good, man. I highly recommend it. If you like 3 6 Mafia, old 3 6 Mafia like I do, you know, mid to late '90s 3 6 Mafia, then I highly recommend checking this album out. Enquiring Minds by Gangsta Boo, released in 1998. Highly recommend it. It's long out of print, so. But I got it for dirt cheap, so. Then we're going back to Boogie Down Bronx with this joint right here, and it's S.E.H. with their debut album called 4535. They stand for Strength Enforcing Serious Harm. Very dope album, very hard to come by, very dark, grimy shit right here. They're from Gun Hill Road in the Bronx, which is North Bronx, and very good stuff. Really underground shit right here. I rarely hear people talk about this. I know they have a single. The single is Definition S.E.H. Very dark. I mean, I highly recommend it. Very dope. Grimy Bronx hip hop right here. Highly recommend if you can find it. Alright. By the way, the first 4 albums I showed you guys are all FYE purchases and stuff like that. So let me see how much time I got left. Alright. Still got some time. Alright. Then we got Celly Cel's debut album titled Heat for Your Ass, released in 1994. I have his second album, Killer Cali, which I showed like about a year or 2 ago. But I do have that. But I finally got my hands on this joint right here. I believe this is the re-release. But yeah, this is because this is the 1995 version. This is not the OG copy. Because the OG copy has 13 tracks. This has 12. The original version has, like I said, 13 tracks. They took out a song called Zigzag Zigzag, I think it was called. Zigzag Zig, I think it was called. They took that off this album. I don't know why, but I don't know why people do stupid shit like that. That shit pisses me off. But very good album right here. I think the single off the album, I don't know the single off the album, but yeah, it's pretty good. He's from Vallejo, California, which is like the Bay Area. He's known for his affiliation with E40, Be Legit, and stuff like that. So, but to me, he's a lot better than them too. Not too crazy about E40 and Be Legit. Just not too crazy about that sound, like their music. But I do respect the contribution they did for hip hop. So, and, you know, they are pioneers and stuff like that. And E40 is original. I give him that, but I just can't get into his music. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, good stuff, right? Good G-Funk hip-hop. Like I said, I got the second album, Killer Cali, which was pretty good. But yeah, glad to own this joint right here. Heat for Your Ass, released in 1994. Alright. Then we're sticking with the West Coast. Excuse me. And we got MC Ren's Kizz My Black Azz EP released in 1992. Excuse me. Love this EP right here. As you can see here, the single of the album is Final Frontier. As you can see here, from the upcoming album Life Sentence, which ended up becoming Shock of the Hour. Love that album. I did a review on that album. Check that out when you guys get a chance. You got singles Final Frontier, like I said before. Right up my alley. That's my shit right there. Yeah, definitely MC Ren in his prime. You know what I mean? And I did a review on his Shock of the Hour, like I mentioned before, and I did a review on The Villain in Black. Excuse me. I was thinking of Mad Scientist, a single, but yeah, Villain in Black, which is dope album, very dark, very underrated. And I need to get his Ruthless for Life album. I need to get that joint. I'll get that eventually. But very, very, very dope. Dope teaser to the Shock of the Hour album. And this is the original copy. This is the original pressing, the original 1992 pressing of of the Kizz My Black Azz EP. This is not the 2003 reissue that came out in 03, but very dope, highly recommended, dope West Coast hip hop, G-Funk. Then we got, still keeping the West Coast, got Above the Law's debut album, Living Like Hustlers, released in 1990. Very, 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 very dope. If you like NWA, you'll definitely enjoy this album. The single of this album, or the song that they're known for off this album, is Murder Rap. Pretty dope. I mean, the production on this album is just so fucking dope, man. Yeah, highly recommended. If you can find this, definitely pick it up. I got this off, I think, Amazon or eBay. Got it for dumb cheap. But yeah, highly recommend. The beats on this album are fucking dope. When people think of 1990, people think of, like, you know, especially like West Coast hip hop, you know, people think of like Funky Worm with the Funky Worm sample with Ohio Player. But this album, yo, the beats, they were ahead of their time when it comes to the samples, what they use. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, very, very good. Highly recommended. Then, to me, the creme de la creme, in my opinion, I've been wanting to get this album for a while. Ross, when you watch this, yo, because I know you wanted this album too. And this album is Kausion, South Central, Los Skanless. Los Skanless, released in 1995. Very, very dope album. Highly recommended. Kausion, they're a group from South Central Los Angeles, hence the name South Central Los Skanless. They were affiliated with Ice Cube. They only had 2 singles of the album. What You're Gonna Do was have a video for, excuse me, and Land of the Skanless, where there's a video for. The production on this album is fucking sick. Unfortunately, this is the only album and the last one they came out with. They severed ties with Ice Cube. You know, it was over money. You know what I mean? So, you know, no offense to Ice Cube, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, this nigga's always having fallouts with people. Like, he had a fallout with DJ Pooh. He had a fallout with Cam. He had a fallout with, you know, I said DJ Sir Jinx. Like, they don't get along. He had a fallout with them. He had a fallout with the Lynch Mob. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's crazy. You know, I don't understand that, Q. I don't understand that, but whatever. He's never gonna see this video, but whatever. This shows you he's not a good businessman. Like, he is, but when it comes to like handling like rap artists, he's not. You know, that's just my opinion. But very, very dope album. Very hard to come by. Goes for some bank. Usually goes for a lot of money. I got this for like $24 on eBay, so had to pick it up. You know what I mean? Because these are one of the albums that I highly doubt they'll ever re-release. But then I'll never know. Well, I can't say that because they did release the BG Knockout and they re-released it in Japan. But, you know, I'm glad to own the original copy of this album. So, This is Kausion, South Central Skanless, released in 1995. Then we're going down south with this shit, and it is Crime Boss with All in the Game, released in 1995. Very dope hip hop right here. It's southern hip hop, but it has like a G funk feel to it, which is sort of like the theme, like Houston sound, where it was like down south, but it had like a G funk sound to it. Scarface is a perfect example. If you listen to like the Diary album, prime example of that. The DMG Rigor Mortis, which I need to get my hands on, but that usually goes for some money online. But I'm trying to get my hands on that joint right there. But the single of the album is The Chick, featuring MJG. He's known for his affiliation with MJG, 8-Ball and MJG. If you're gonna get this album, I'm just forewarning you guys. Even though it says 11 it has 11 tracks, it actually has 13, and it was so annoying because when I tried to upload it, on my iTunes, I had to like retitle some of the songs. You know what I mean? Particularly some of the songs on the later tracks, like from track 6 and down. I had to pretty much I had to retitle the whole album, like to the point where I had to retitle the track listens like from all the way down. Like I had to listen to some of the songs like up to the chorus just to like retitle the songs and shit like that. It was mad annoying, but I'm very anal with shit like that, so I ended up doing that. So if you're gonna get this album, I'm just forewarning you with that. So but yeah, very dope album. Like I said, The Chick is the single of the album. But yeah, On the Game by Crime Boss, released in 1995. This is his first album. It's long out of print. I need to get his second album, Crime and Confusion, I think it's called. I think it's called Crime and Confusion. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, On the Game by Crime Boss, released in 1995. Very dope album. And then we're going to the East Coast. It's Mr. Dead with Metabolics Volume 2, Dawn of the Dead, released in 2000. This is his debut album. Mr. Dead, he's known for being he's one half of the group of Metabolics, which I have their first album, The M Virus, which I showed you guys years ago. The single of this album is Spit Something. And Mr. Dead, he's actually he's a special effects artist. He's the Tom Savini of hip hop. You know what I mean? That's the best way I could describe it. He's done some work for like 50 Cent's Before I Self-Destruct. He did the effects, like the graphics, like the makeup and stuff like that for the when people get killed and shit like that and things get shot up. He's a special effects one. He did that. You know what I'm trying to say. He's a special effects guy, the makeup guy and stuff like that. But very dope, very dark. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Highly recommend. Dope underground hip hop. Very dope. Then you're going West Coast right here. This is an album that I don't really hear too many people talk about, and it is Blood of Abraham with their debut album Future Prophets, released in 1993. They were signed with Eazy-E, Ruthless Records, out of all places, which I was kind of shocked. But yeah, very dope album right here. You know, their Jewish heritage, which consists of two members. Their names is Matiz, I think his name is, and Ben Yaz. Those are the two members of the group. The singles off the album is Life and Stabbed by the Steeple. Very, very dope song. I love that song, Stabbed by the Steeple. Love the beat. The video's dope too. It definitely has like a Tribe Called Quest feel to it. It sounds like something Q-Tip would have produced around that time, around like 92. This album right here has like that Tribe feel to it, that early Tribe, kind of like that Low End Theory kind of sound to it in a sense, but not as deep. You would have to listen to it. It has like, it's like a mixture of like